for the decentralization to progress, I think there are two main things needed to put it in place. Like one is having some transparency and metrics in the open for the people to check. And two is having some tooling and incentives to progress on the decentralization part. So these two need to be in place. And that's why Marinade came about back then. So I would start talking about Marinade from the perspective of what's the role of Solana staking as it is on a very high level. And Solana staking, it's like a representative democracy, kind of. You can imagine you have those 2,000 parties on Solana state, right? And you have 500,000 citizens owning Sol, and that they can delegate the Sol to those parties. And with delegating the Sol, they basically transfer the voting power on those nodes that then process and confirm transactions on the network. So you can delegate them this voting power. So people still today, I think, face three main fears of Solana staking as it is. So one is that when you are about to stake Sol, when you are about to delegate your Sol to some validator, there are 2,000 of those. And it's hard to pick just one.
Yeah. Why 960 validator is instead of 274? Like, I don't know why.
Exactly. So this is the first hurdle, I would say, in the staking UX, really, that there are just too many. And unless you have favorite community, a title, or yield, it's hard to pick. And they all look great on paper, but tomorrow they can go offline, they can change commission. So there's this second problem, this anxiety, this constant not knowing, am I getting a yield or what's happening, really? So that's the second problem, really, that you don't know unless you check for yourself, really. And then the third thing, because all those two problems, that's why many people reverted to staking with the OGs, with the huge validators, or even on the exchange. And that's a third problem, or fear. That's a shame, because they don't feel great about it, but it's the safest way probably to play it, because you don't know the others and you don't want to lose on your yield. So Marinade tried to tackle all these user-facing problems, really, from the UX perspective, and also from the philosophical perspective of not staking with the biggest. So what Marinade introduced is this automated delegation strategy. What Marinade does is that it monitors all Solana validators on the network and delegates to the best performing ones on your behalf. So you're not staking with one only, you're staking actually with 100 plus validators on the network. Doing this, it's automatically rebalanced. So you don't need to care for yourself. It's automatically checked for yourself, and it's put where the best yield and the best decentralization is. You don't need to pick one validator because it's automatically picked for you. And probably the best part and the hidden part is that it skips the biggest validators and it stakes rather on the smaller validators, the other reliable validators. So that was really the concept that Marinade introduced to masses, which I'm a big believer that this can progress Solana network health as it is and improve the decentralization. So that was a main thesis, and we wrapped it back then into liquid staking. So that's what we introduced to Solana as the first one back in summer 2021.